Liz Warren has flipped on PACs. That's right. She now has her very own super PAC. And to make things worse, it is massive. It is one of the largest super PACs in the field. I'm going to read this tweet by Sean King, who's a big pro-Bernie guy on Twitter. Wow, did you see this? Elizabeth Warren now has the largest secret super PAC in the Democratic field. A few hours ago, under pressure, she asked that they release their donor list. They just said no. This is exactly what she spoke against for years. And that's very true. There's a few things I want to highlight here. Mainly, a ton of hypocrisy. I mean, Warren campaigned against super PACs for much of her campaign. Just weeks ago, there's a tweet by her literally saying she'll never take dark money or outside money, or I forget the exact wording, but basically saying she wouldn't, endorse a super PAC or allow it. And that was just weeks ago. And now all of a sudden she has now a massive super PAC dropping. I think it's something like $9 million in the primary for ad buys for Super Tuesday, on or before Super Tuesday. And $9 million is a massive, massive spend. That's equivalent to, that's more than many candidates raised in an entire quarter, some of the minor candidates. So that's huge. And there's only one super PAC that had spent more than Warren's brand new super PAC. And I believe it was Unite Our Country by Joe Biden, or it was a super PAC for Joe Biden that spent a little bit more. But Liz Warren has spent now as much, either slightly less than that or slightly more than that. According to this HuffPost article, it's more. Either way, it's just a ton of money. And it's crazy coming from this anti-corruption Democrat. Now, I have seen other articles or tweets talking about how there's potentially a large billionaire behind this super PAC. The money might be coming from primarily one large guy. I'm not going to read about this yet just because I want to see more reporting come out about it. But potentially this is a case of another billionaire buying influence in an election. And he is a billionaire that owns a biopharma company. So lot of sketchy shit going down here. And, I think this just kind of proves what a lot of progressives had suspected about Liz Warren, which is that she is not quite as she appears, and you can't quite take what she says at face value. She, claims it's fair for her to have this super PAC because of, all the male candidates in the race having super PACs. And so she sort of made this argument that it's about sexism or something. And really, it was just a really bad justification because it still goes against what she said early in her campaign. And secondly, Bernie does not have a dark money super PAC like this. Warren claims he does, but he does not. He has a few different PACs or nonprofits funding his campaign, but none of them even come close to being like this. One is Our Revolution, which reveals any donations above $250, reveals the identity of those donors. So it's not dark money. And I believe the amount that they've spent supporting Bernie's campaign this year is minimal, potentially even $0. I saw something that said it literally hadn't spent a single dollar directly on Bernie's campaign, and it's more focused on other like progressive issues and candidates. Another was the Sunrise Movement, which is just like a grassroots, people-funded like climate change advocacy group. And another is a nurses union, which has spent, once again, these are small drop in the bucket, well below $1 million. I think the nurses union potentially is even under $100,000. I'd have to check the most recent numbers. But the point is, a union spending money on a candidate is far, far, far different than a super PAC, which has, unrevealed donors. And so it's just really disingenuous. And I think I started this campaign really liking Liz Warren. If you'd asked me even a few weeks ago if I would vote for her if she happened to get the nomination, I would have said yeah, no, without question. Bernie's my first choice, but she's a close second. Now, not even close, man. She's just proved herself to be very disingenuous, and I don't believe that she would go to the mat for some of these progressive issues because of her wavering on finance in politics. And the super PAC is just one example. So will be very interesting to see how it affects her Super Tuesday performance and her performance going forward. And it will be very interesting to see who is behind this PAC. They have actually announced that they will reveal the people behind the PAC. They will reveal their donors, but not until well after Super Tuesday. I believe March 20th is the date. So very, very sketchy there. And again, Warren has not disowned this, has refused to come out against this super PAC, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you in the next video.